welcome to my channel. Okay, so sorry about the last video. I know the sound was horrible. We filmed it at the pizza shop and all the equipment running at a restaurant is really loud. I realize that, so we're gonna either have to not film it there anymore, or it was never as bad on live for some reason, but on the recorded ones it sounds horrible. So we'll either have to do it outside, which you could hear the traffic outside, or we'll have to we'll figure out something, just do it at his house or whatever. But got some news here. My great mod maybe just messaged me this article that just came out today. So I haven't had time to even let it sink in. I just skimmed it so quick and I was like, I got to get this out there. I got to make a video. So I feel like I haven't even reacted yet. I skimmed through it. I want to read it to you guys. If by the time I upload it, you guys might have already heard it. But oh well, this is crazy. Like, I get some of the book has leaked. Some more of the book, and this part is pretty freaking interesting. So I'm gonna read you a part of this letter, okay, from Chris. You know, this is a part of that letters to Christopher or whatever from her book that's coming out. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of it. I'm just gonna read some of this interesting part here that, like I said, I don't even think I've had time to react. Like, I don't even know how I feel, but I just know when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Like, can this guy get any eviler? Like, can he be any more evil? I'm trying to think of where I want to start reading it. Okay, here we go. So, I'm not sure if I want this in the book or if God does. But here we are, the things I left out. August 12th, when I finished putting the girls to bed, I walked away and said, that's the last time I'm going to be tucking my babies in. I knew what was going to happen the day before, and I did nothing to stop it. I was numb to the entire world. I had literally taken my kids to a birthday party. I played with water balloons, had an amazing time, sang songs all the way home, gave them both a shower, ate dinner, read bedtime stories, and sang bedtime songs, and still nothing registered. When Shanann had to be somewhere, I always enjoyed taking the girls places or playing outside because it was our opportunity to bond. And still, even the night before, I couldn't stop myself from what I knew would occur the next morning. August 13th, morning of, I went to the girls' room first. Before Shanann and I had our argument, I went to Bella's room, then Cece's room, and used a pillow from their bed. That's why the cause of death was smothering. After I left Cece's room, then I climbed back in bed with Shanann, and our argument ensued. After Shanann had passed, Bella and Cece woke back up. I'm not sure how they woke back up, but they did. It makes the act that much worse knowing I went to their rooms first and knowing I still took their lives at the location. The reason the medical examiner found OxyContin in Shanann's system is because I gave it to her. I thought it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shanann wasn't pregnant. If the world knew all of that, I'm pretty sure a new petition would be started to have me put to death, or I would be killed in prison if I ever got transferred from this institution. So, okay, let me respond to some of that now. Okay, first of all, wow, like, I don't even know what to say. Hold on. Let me finish reading this. Okay, so after I left Cece's room, then I climbed back in bed with Shanann and our argument ensued. After Shanann had passed, Bella and Cece woke back up. I'm not sure how they woke back up, but they did. Bella's eyes were bruised, and both girls looked like they had been through trauma. Yeah, because they have been through trauma. Oh my God. That made the act that much worse, knowing I went to their rooms first, and knowing I still took their lives at the location of the batteries. Can you imagine what they must have went through? So it sounds like after Shanann got home, so she got home and she must have got changed or whatever, and she must have been like waiting in bed, and then he went to their rooms. What do you tell her? I'm going to tuck the girls in, or I'm going to go check on the girls. But wouldn't the baby monitors be on? Like, wouldn't she be seeing him in the baby monitors if she was still home? Because he made it seem like it was like right before the argument, like right, it wasn't real specific, but almost seemed like it was actually after Shanann got home, but you know, before he killed Shanann, but it was like almost like she was already in the bedroom when he did it. Doesn't that sound like that to you? I'm not sure. Maybe he did it before she got home, but in that letter, the way he writes it, it sounds like, yes, it was like she was already home in bed waiting, and then he went in the rooms, he smothered both of them, and then went and killed Shanann. But like I said, wouldn't she have seen him on the monitors? They had baby monitors. There's no way she wouldn't have been looking at those. Like, I don't understand that. Okay, let me finish here. So actually, he also admitted in a letter that he had been plotting the murders for some time. So August 12th, when he finished putting the girls to bed, he walked away saying, that's the last time I'm going to be tucking my babies in. I knew what was going to happen the day before, and I did nothing to stop it. Gosh, this guy's evil. And then this part, which I don't understand. Okay, so, I mean, I understand it. Okay, I guess he kind of changed the story a little bit. It says he also confessed that he had slipped the potent painkiller OxyContin to his wife in the hope of inducing a miscarriage. I thought it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shanann wasn't pregnant, he wrote. But then it says, okay, so now he's gonna explain when he kills Shanann. It says, isn't it weird how I look back and what I remember so much is her face getting all black with streaks of mascara, Watts said. All the weeks of me thinking about killing her. All the weeks? Like he was planning it for weeks. Oh my God. But I guess, does it surprise us? No. Like we were thinking that, but to actually hear it coming from him is kind of shocking, even though we all were thinking like he premeditated it, he thought about it. We all assumed that and really thought that, but like to actually hear him say that is still kind of shocking, or still kind of, whoa, like. So it says, now I was faced with it. When she started to get drowsy, I somehow knew how to squeeze the jugular veins until it cut off the blood flow to her brain and she passed out. I knew if I took my hands off of her, she would still keep me from Nikki. They asked me why she couldn't fight back. It's because she couldn't fight back. Her eyes filled with blood as she looked at me and she died. I knew she was gone when she relieved herself. And then Watts said, okay, so first of all, though, before her eyes would have filled with blood, she would have had time to fight back. It's not like that happened. I mean, that takes minutes. So why, it still doesn't answer the question, why didn't she fight back when he first started? Like, so that's why there's still some inconsistency. There's still he's still not telling the full truth, because it's not like her eyes would fill with blood right away and she would die right away. It takes minutes. So where was that fight for those minutes prior to her passing out? And, you know, but anyway, it says, Watts said that to his surprise, his daughters came walking into the room while he was wrapping Shanann in a bedsheet and began asking what was wrong with their mom. He told them she wasn't feeling well. So now he's saying daughters. So now he's saying they both walked in. Because, you know, at first, or the second confession, he said it was just Bella that walked in. Now he's saying they both walked in, okay? So then it says, you know, he tried to carry Shanann's body downstairs, but she was too heavy. He lost grip. He ended up dragging her down. So that's the same. And then he bundled her in the back of the truck. Okay. And he said the girls were just kind of running around the house. That's kind of how he explained it in the second confession. And they were watching me with scared looks on their face. Bella started to cry. And when she did, Celeste started whimpering. What a nightmare this was. Yeah, what a nightmare for them. Like it's almost like he's saying what a nightmare for himself. Yeah, what a nightmare for your two precious little daughters. What a nightmare for them. What a nightmare for Shanann. But you're saying what a nightmare this was, like referring to yourself. Oh my God. This is making me mad. It really is. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this is the part I don't understand, because he said the reason the medical examiner found OxyContin in Shanann's system is because I gave it to her. But I don't remember the medical examiner finding OxyContin in her system. Did I miss something there? That I don't understand that, because I don't remember on the toxicology that it said OxyContin. But anyway, so let me know if I missed something there. But it said, I thought it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shanann wasn't pregnant. So it looks like it said at first, his story kind of changed. Like at first, like one time he said he gave her the OxyContin a few times in North Carolina, and then, you know, right before her death. And then it said, oh, another time he said he just gave it to her in North Carolina. So I'm not sure what the truth is, but considering I don't think the medical examiner found OxyContin in her system, he probably just gave it to her in North Carolina, hoping that she would have a miscarriage. And then maybe when they went to that, remember they went to the ultrasound, and he probably found out that the baby was healthy and it was going to be fine. And maybe that's when he decided, okay, the miscarriage thing didn't work. The OxyContin miscarriage thing didn't work. So I'm going to have to go through with my other plan B, you know, maybe that's how it went down. Because the ultrasound was after they got back from North Carolina. It said he gave her the Oxycontin in North Carolina, hoping that she would have a miscarriage, and then it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shanann wasn't pregnant. So then he gives it to her how many times in North Carolina. Then they go to the ultrasound, probably finding out the baby's healthy. So then he's probably like, shoot, my plan didn't work. The baby's still healthy. What do I do? Let's go with plan B. What's plan B? Let's take out the whole family, right? So, and then though, when she asked him where he got the Oxycontin, he said, I'm going to take that to my death. He's never going to tell where he got the Oxycontin. So that, still leaving it, questions, where the heck did he get that Oxycontin? Who's he protecting? I don't know. So he says, I realize now that the girls getting up and walking around may have been God's third attempt to stop what I was doing. Yes, it probably was. So why didn't you listen to God then? The only time you listen to him when it's going to benefit yourself. He said he had an overwhelming feeling. His overwhelming feeling was being so mad that they were still alive. I mean, just think about that for a minute. He was so mad that they actually got back up and they were still alive after he tried to kill him the first time. And then, of course, what we all knew, he said basically when the FBI asked him if he was planning on taking his life, and he said, yeah, he said that wasn't true. He wasn't planning on that. But we all knew that. We all knew he wasn't planning on taking his life. So, and then as far as how he killed them by putting the blanket over the head, it's the same as his second confession. And he said, Celeste's body squeezed through the 8-inch hatch really easy. He was surprised how easily, and it was just how easy it was to just let her drop through the hole and let her go. I heard the splash as it hit the oil. And then he said how he killed Bella. He said, after she watched him dispose of her sister, he spoke of his surprise that little quiet Bella had a will to live. Of course she had a will to live. He said, out of all three, Bella is the only one that put up a fight. I will hear her soft little voice for the rest of my life. Good, you should. You should hear her soft little voice for the rest of your life. I don't even know. I feel like I'm still in shock what is coming out of his freaking mouth. He said, her saying, Daddy, no, and she knew what I was doing to her. She may not have understood death, but she knew I was killing her. Can you imagine that? Oh my gosh. A 5-year-old innocent child might not fully understand death, but knew this violent act was going to be acted upon her. She knew. She saw him do that to her sister. Imagine how traumatic that is. And then seeing her dad come back knowing he was going to do the same thing to her. Oh, my God. And this, okay, he said he had put the girls in the tank so they wouldn't get up the second time. So he puts them in the tank, making sure this time they're for sure going to be dead. They're not getting up this time. Like, what? I don't even know. I feel sick even repeating his words because it is so evil. This kind of went along with his second confession. He did dump Shanann on the ground. At least that's what he says. Before he killed Bella and Celeste, and then he walked back to the truck. Then he took Bella and Celeste's life, and then he went back to bury Shanann. Okay? So he said, when I dug the hole, it seemed a lot deeper than it was. As I pulled on the sheet, she rolled out into the hole. I think she had given birth. When I dug the hole, it seemed a lot deeper than it was. As I pulled on the sheet, she rolled out and into the hole, and I think she had given birth. She landed face down. I remember being so angry with her that I was not going to change how she landed, he said. Wow. But I don't understand, because he said, that's why earlier he said when he smothered the girls in the bed, and then that's why on the autopsy it showed up as being smothered. But that's not how they ultimately died, because they didn't die that time. So it only matters kind of how they really died. You know what I'm saying? So it still doesn't make sense if he's saying that I don't know. We don't know his exact actions with that blanket. Maybe it was more of a smothering. I'm talking about in the car at the site than it was like a strangle. But he kind of described like putting his hand over the mouth and the neck. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly, but when him saying that's kind of weird because it doesn't matter because they didn't die that first time. So why is he saying, well, that's why it showed up that way? I don't know. And then it makes me wonder if they woke up the first time. Let's pray to God that they did not wake up a second time in that oil, because let's just pray that they were already gone when he put them in the oil. I can't even think otherwise. So it says, when Cato asked him about the claims that Watts gave his wife Oxycontin, he responded with conflicting stories, like I was saying earlier, saying he had given it to her twice, once at her parents' home in North Carolina to try it to cause a miscarriage, and then immediately before her death. He later contradicted himself and said he only gave it to her once in North Carolina, which I think that's the true case, because maybe not only once, but maybe he only gave it to her in North Carolina, because why wasn't it in her toxicology report? It wasn't, at least not the one that they released to the Discovery, so I don't know. And then this is when she said she asked him where he got the oxy, and he told me that is one of the things he will take to his death. So he said a few hours after he buried his family, Watts' alibi began to fall apart. Yes, it did. I don't even know what to think about this. What do you guys think about this? Like I said, it hasn't even sunk in. Like she just sent me this article like less than an hour before I started making this video, and so I set up, and it just hasn't even hit me yet. And like I said, it's not stuff necessarily that we haven't thought that could be an option, but just to hear it actually coming from him is just, I don't know, it's still kind of shocking. Or it's just, maybe I just have to let it sink in, because I'm just reliving. I know I'm not personally reliving it, but I'm just thinking about poor Bella and Celeste, what they went through, and now it's even worse. We thought it couldn't be any worse, and now this story is even worse. So that makes me think that the actual real truth is even worse than this. Like, oh my God. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? So basically, yeah. So, wow. So do you think, where do you think he got that Oxycontin? Do you think there's other things that he's gonna take to his grave, basically, and never tell a soul about? Besides the oxy, you think that's the only thing that he's keeping from us, is where he got that oxy? I mean, what do you guys think? Because couldn't he have gotten that oxy? Didn't somebody say she had a prescription left over? But obviously it doesn't sound like that's where he got it. It sounds like he got it somewhere else. So, I don't know. Let me go back through this real quick. So, he's saying, does he feel like he should be incarcerated? Yes, definitely. He said, yeah, I should be. But he says that, does he think he would ever do anything like this ever again, or be a danger to society? He says most definitely not, is what he's saying. And he's saying if he would ever get out, he would go straight to the ministry and start going to jails and prisons and help inmates. Sorry, you don't deserve to be out. You should have been thinking about God and helping people before this, helping your little girls. And he's saying maybe the laws will change one day. And also he's bringing up like that his attorneys are saying, like, if he was in Europe, the law, he would serve 20 years for homicide. So, and in California, after 25 years imprisonment of a life sentence, you could be released if you had a good behavior. I'm sorry, let's pray. And if we ever get like any news that he has any chance of being released, we need to get some petitions up, because this guy should not be released. I don't care if we think he's going to commit another crime or not, or if he would do this again or not. What he did to take, well, basically 4 lives. No, he should never be out. I'm sorry, he shouldn't. And to actually basically kill Bella and Cece twice. He did it twice. So that means he did it once thinking that He was killing them, and then he did it again. Can you imagine that? Smothering your children twice. Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I'm sorry I don't have much to say. All I'm saying is, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But I can't. I'm in shock. Maybe I should have let this sink in before I did a video, but I just wanted to get this out to you guys as quick as possible, because unfortunately I can't do a live, so I have to edit it and download it, which I wish right now I could do a live with you guys so I could be live and we could interact and I could get what you guys are feeling. I miss it so much. Like, I wish I could be sitting here talking live with you guys, but I can't. So I'm going to try to get this uploaded today, and so at least I could have some of your comments tonight about how you guys feel. So basically, he's saying, to kind of recap, he said he thought about it for weeks before, but what I think is, yeah, he was thinking about all his options. He wanted to be with Nikki. What can I do? And one of his options was try to get Shanann to have a miscarriage, so giving her oxy, but also having a plan B of killing his whole family. But see, I don't know if she would have had a miscarriage, would he have still went on and killed everybody? I don't know, but I guess we'll never know that. But so it sounds like for a couple weeks he was thinking about it. He tried to give her a miscarriage, and obviously they went to ultrasound and the baby was healthy. So he went to his second plan, or I don't even know what's the first one, what's the second plan. That might have been a final plan. Anyway, we don't know. But so he was thinking about this for weeks. Probably even, who knows if the thought crossed his mind even longer than that. But the thought of actually doing it sounds like for weeks. And then when he put his kids to bed that night, he knew that was going to be the last time he would put his babies, I don't even want to say his babies, that's what he said, but they're not his babies, but that's the last time he would put Bella and Celeste to bed. That's the last time he'd tuck them in. Can you imagine? And then they wake up all bruised and with bruised eyes, and can you imagine? And he was mad, like, okay, so I want to know, do you guys believe this? I believe it to an extent. Like, I believe that what he said was true, but I believe that he's leaving out some things. So I believe that he did try to smother them once in bed, and they did wake up. I don't know if I believe that Shanann didn't fight back. I feel like I don't know. That's one thing I'm not sure if I believe, because I feel like she would have fought back. And I just believe maybe he's leaving out some stuff. But I believe, like, what he said was true, but he just left out a lot of things. Well, no, because I'm saying I don't think I believe that Shanann didn't fight back. Like, that's hard to believe, so I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I haven't even had time to let this sink in, so I don't know how I feel, really. All I know is I just feel like I hate him so much right now, and I just feel so sad for Bella and Celeste. Like, I feel like this is, I thought when I heard it the first time how I felt. I was like, wow, like, I didn't think that I could feel even worse about the situation. And now can you imagine the Ruseks have to read this, and now they have to go through this again and have to hear the experience that Bella and Celeste went through, and their daughter and Shanann went through. Like, they have to hear it. It's even worse now. Like, they have to, I don't even know. This is horrible. This really is. I don't know if this book is a good idea, but I mean, maybe they should have waited a while to let them heal a little bit more before, because it's like they haven't even healed fully, and it's just like, the first confession, the second confession, every time they're probably getting close. Well, not close. They're never gonna be close. Like, they're never gonna be fully okay or fully healed. You just never are. I mean, it gets easier, but it doesn't get easy, I should say, so I can't even imagine what they're gonna feel when they read this. And this is only a part of the book. Like, this is only a part of it. We don't even know. This is just a couple of letters. This is just one of the letters. Like, can you imagine the rest of it? This is probably the most interesting part, I bet. But then it just makes you wonder, they woke up that time, or is he sure that they were dead the second time, and then he said that's why he put him in a tank to make sure that they didn't get back up. Wow. Alright, I think I'm going to end this so I could edit this and get this out. Well, I guess I'll read you this part too. He was talking about how he's not sure if this was a spiritual visit or if it was just a dream, that he had a dream that Cece was dancing next to the chair in his cell, and he said that one of the folders on the chair started moving, and he thought that she was in some kind of trouble, I guess, and so he said he told her, watch out, get away, watch out, and then he woke up, and he's saying he's hoping she comes back, and he said he hopes that everybody comes to visit him. He's saying he's trying to clear his head to see if he could clear his head better before he goes to sleep. Wow. I don't know. That's about all right now. But, okay, guys. Yeah, just let me know how you guys feel about that. And, wow. Okay, so I will talk to you guys next time. And you guys all have a good day. And, yeah, please comment underneath. Let me know if you believe this is the truth. What parts do you believe are true? And just how you feel about this. I'd be interested to know what you guys are all thinking. Okay, guys. Bye. Have a good night.